baby. Hey, Hunter. How you doing? Why, she's a good baby. Oh, you're hunting? Is that why one leg is up? Oh, I ain't got no food. But tomorrow maybe. Maybe tomorrow I'll give you a bone or two. Anyway, folks, so we're going to be making a pineapple glazed baby back ribs for tomorrow. So what I'm going to do for tonight, this is just the rub that I'm making. Little garlic, as much as you want. Some chipotle right there. Not too much of this, just because this is strong flavor. Penske pepper. This is just where we got the pepper from. It's not a special pepper. It actually tastes pretty good though. It's not that crap that they sell in the grocery store. And some salt. So tomorrow what I'll do is I'll put them on the smoker. I'm going to leave the rub on. I'm going to put the rub on the meat. Leave it in the fridge overnight to get into the meat. I'll leave it in, I guess, about 24 hours, maybe a little longer. Then tomorrow you'll see me smoke the ribs. I'll also show you how I make my spicy pineapple barbecue sauce. And some salt. It looks like a lot of salt, but it ain't. All right, put this over here. My baby back ribs. Make sure this is stirred up. So as far as volume, I kind of been doing this for a while. I know how much I need to go over 2 racks. Obviously, if there was a 3rd rack, it'd be more. Less for less meat. And I just sprinkle it. Little trick, the higher you are, the more it's going to spread out. Boom, boom. I am not going to do the back side. And this one I might just put a little less on. Just in case somebody doesn't want it as seasoned. All right, that's it. Little rub, boom, boom, boom. Nothing special. So it is 8 o'clock right now. I'll probably pull it out. I don't know. I'll probably start smoking right around 10 o'clock. So 12 hours. 10 o'clock would be 14 hours. So that's what we're gonna do. See you tomorrow in 14 hours. In the fridge it goes. All right, it's been about 12 hours. I'm going to wait another 2 hours. Part of barbecuing is timing your meal for serving. All right, grill's all ready to go. Cleaned up a little bit. A little bit of ambiance. I got the little mini water fountain going, and it looks like we're going to have a nice day with the mountains in the background. It's okay. My pet quail. pro tip. Always get the meat on as cold as possible, and your smoking temperature as low as possible. So typical low smoking would be 180 degrees. Once the meat rises to a certain temperature, it doesn't absorb as much smoke. So that's the trick. Meat as cold as possible, temperature as low as possible, which is 180 degrees for smoking. Every now and then it's nice to come out here and smell the smoke. Look at the mountains in the background. God, it smells so good. I'm using a competition blend pellet, but if you can just smell that, it just smells amazing. Oh, and I'm hand holding the camera. It's been on about an hour and 40 minutes. So we're going to actually spray it down. Let's take a look. I got here some juice, a little bit of apple, and I think a little bit of a grape, a white grape juice in here. So I just want to moisten the meat, just keep it moist. Really what this juice is for is, it is to moisten the meat, don't get me wrong, but as the fluid dries out, it leaves a microfine layer of sugar, and over the course of smoking this, it's going to leave a slightly even a thicker layer of sugar, and it'll actually become slightly gummy, which is a really good thing. Just want to get a little bit more here. I just love it, love it. Another thing, what we're going to do here, again, I'm hand holding the camera. Actually, I'm going to put it down real quick. Put you right inside the grill. There we go. Let's see if we can get it here. All right. Got our trusty thermometer. Put it between the bone. Now I know you're not going to be able to see this because of the sunlight and the quality of the camera. Between the bone, and we're looking for a temperature of 200, 205. That's when the fat starts to render, meaning melt away. Right at 106 right now. So we'll come back in a little while. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, the clouds are building up, the monsoons are getting ready to roll in. Okay, it's been another half an hour. I did not mention, my juice is always kept in the refrigerator. Cold attracts smoke. That's why when you put your meat on, you put them on as cold as possible directly out of the fridge. Again, I'm repeating myself, but the lowest smoking temperature is 180. Okay, so I keep that at 180 for a few hours until the internal temperature is 125, 35. Then I'll raise the temperature up to, I don't know, 2 1/4 to get this to cook a little faster. But anyway, again, I keep the juice as cold as possible, but because the cold temperature attracts the smoke, and that's how you infuse smoke flavor into your meat. I want to say you would not do this quite the same when you cook poultry, such as turkey and chicken. There's a different method, but similar but different. Alright, time to make the sauce. Just a few ingredients. I'm notorious for what you're hearing in the background is a couple of birds. I'm notorious for buying, let's say, a spaghetti sauce, or in this case, a barbecue sauce, and doctoring it up, taking it to the next level. So I'm a really big fan of Sweet Baby Ray's. I love their what was it, the sweet and spicy sauce. Love that sauce, their barbecue sauce. But we're going to do a Hawaiian to add the spice. I'm going to do some red pepper flakes. I love this because once it gets wet in the sauce, they become little chewy bits. You can also add some cayenne pepper for the extra heat. We're also adding this orange peel flakes, Penzeys spices. You can buy them online. I think last night when I was seasoning the meat, I called it Penske's, the moving truck, but they're Penzeys spices. Again, you can buy them online. High-end spices. And last and not least, pineapple chunks, unsweetened pineapple chunks. So what we're going to do first, take a couple of handfuls of this, basically soften them up in a skillet, and then throw them in a Vitamix blender, get them all juiced. Then we'll mix them in. We'll mix all this. I'll show you how it's done. Little real butter. Pineapple, and just let it saute for a little bit, soften them up. Currently they're frozen, so let them just simmer right there over the heat and butter, and we'll get them in the Vitamix. All right, we're gonna cook this until the butter down below starts to brown just a little bit, not too much. Flip that big one over. A couple more minutes. Just use your judgment of how much of this you need. I have 2 racks, so I'm kind of familiar with what I need. Some barbecue sauce going in first. Alright, I think that should be enough of what I need. That was about a half of, this was what, 1 pound, 2 ounces. It was about I would say this was about 9-10 ounces. Then we're going to just throw a pinch of the orange peel in. That's going to give some bitterness to the sweetness. Just 1 pinch, good solid pinch. Boom, done. That's the orange peel. Again, flakes to taste. A little palmful, I'd say half a teaspoon. Boom, done. You can hear the pineapple sauteing. Brown butter. Use a rubber spatula to get all that good caramelized butter and sugar out. Sugar from the pineapple, that is. I didn't add any sugar to this. Boom, done. I might add some water in it depending on the consistency, but we'll see. Boom. Okay, start it on slow. And done. No kitchen is a kitchen without a bunch of rubber spatulas. All that good goodness. Alright, taste. Just put your finger in there. And if it's not sweet enough, add some natural honey. I think it's good as it's going to get. Actually, after a couple of tastes, I decided to put just a little bit of honey in there. Now it goes in the fridge until the meat's done. See you then. So I just checked the temperature of the meat. It's about 176, so we still got about 30 more degrees to go before I consider them done, before that fat starts to render and melt away from the meat. Monsoons are moving in. I'm feeling slight drizzy. I just had a Joe Biden moment. I just feel a little bit of a drizzle on me. You see some of the rain right out there. Right out there. You can see some of the rain and more rain over there, more sun. God, I need a drink or something. I actually think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pour myself a nice stiff drink. Alright, so we're going to do some temperature reading here. Between the bone. 178. 188. 181. I'm just doing a couple of readings. 181 there, 192. So as we get closer to the heat box, it's getting hotter. Right here, right there, I don't know if you can see that is 110. That's good right there. So what I like to do is actually flip this. The meat's hot right there. Actually, I'm going to flip this too. I'll use the thermometer to grab onto it. We're damn getting close. Ouch, ooch, ouch. Thunder. 178, 176, so we're pretty good. Another 25 degrees. I'm racing the temperature. I mean, what am I saying? I'm racing the weather. It's about ready to rain. That sauce going on now. There's a light coating. And what I'm going to do is, hopefully some of this will dry, put another coating on the dry barbecue sauce. You know, create a gummy kind of texture, you know, that good yummy gummy. Just a thin little layer. Multiple directions here. I got my own little routine that I do, you know. And the rest, what is in the bowl, obviously I'll put another coating on, but the rest will go into small little monkey dishes. They call them monkey dishes because they're very tiny, and that's served with each meal, so everybody has their own little dish of barbecue sauce that they can add if they need. Yeah, technically, you know those little bowls of salsa that you see in the Mexican restaurants? Those little tiny bowls are actually called monkey bowls. People don't know that. I don't know if they're still calling monkey bowls, but back in the day when I was a kid working in the restaurants, we'd call them monkey bowls. Okay, so some things I noticed that's good about this, and if you go back like a minute or two, you'll see that the meat is receding from the bone. That means it's pulling back away from the bone. That's a sign that it's starting to get ready to be done. So let's just give it, I'd say another 15 minutes. I raised the temperature to 290, and hopefully she'll start to cook a little faster. Again, I'm racing the rain now. Okay, the rain is definitely coming down now. I had to move the grill underneath the patio. You can see it's coming down a little bit. That's part of barbecuing. You never know. And you can't, for example, the meat's been on 5 hours. When I pull it off, it'll be 5.5 hours. And you just can't stop it. You know, you can't just stop in the middle and say, oh well, I give up, I'm gonna throw it in the oven. That don't work. Just gotta make do. Just gotta make do. So I put it right here. Let's take a look at how she's coming along. God, you know, after I had my drink, I feel like getting in the jacuzzi now. Let's take a look. Get the exposure right. I hate this camera. One day I'm gonna get a nice camera. Let's take a look here. There we go. You notice that reddish look now? And I don't know if you can tell, but that sauce is pretty much dry. I only put one layer on it. And that's what we're looking for. We're waiting for that top layer to dry, and then we're going to go ahead with a second layer of sauce. And that's all the sauce we're going to put on it during the cooking process. That's it. Just another half an hour. It's actually nice to show you guys this, you guys and gals. So I don't know if you can see right in the bottom of the bush, I got my pet quail. They live in this bush. I've had them since chicks, and I rescued them. And they were actually living in my house in that box until they were safe enough to release. And they took that bush up as their home. And the reason why I had to rescue them is there was a hawk that was flying around, and it killed off the other 10 or 12 chicks. They were little chicks. And these there's 3 of them in there. These 3 little chicks, I didn't want to see them get eaten, so I picked them up, brought them in the house, and been taking care of them ever since. And then once they were old enough to fend for themselves, released them, and they took that bush up as their home. And now they basically come right up to this table here, and they'll walk around our yard. They're not quite comfortable with me still. I guess it's that defense mechanism inside of them. They just other quail though will fly out of that bush. They won't even let me get this close. They'll at least let me get a little, a little closer. But I like to give them their space. All right, hand holding the camera. Back to the shaky camera. Ribs are done. Notice how the meat is receded away from the bone a little bit. Those are good signs that it's done. So let's cut into this. Hardly any effort. Alright, just cut a slice of this. Super juicy. Let's give it a taste. Pulls right away from the bone. What I feel is heat from the chili peppers. Not enough though. I might try a Mexican type of rib next time with some jalapenos or some green chilies from, I don't know, from a farm or something. But what really comes through is the pineapple. It just freaking pops. You can definitely taste the pineapple. Like a sweet and spicy at the same time. I love that profile. Give this a shot. Take care.